Hi.
How are you doing this evening?
Good. You?
Better than last week? Did they get the black belt?
Yes.
So who was working on that?
My daughter.
So she's a black belt. I don't want to make her mad. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, yeah. You better be careful.
Oh me. Let me. I'm trying to get my email pulled up real quick so that I can do
Okay.
um,
Okay.
to pull up our assignment tonight. Can you see that?
Yes.
So I think that's the section we're ready for, correct? Dreams and
Yes.
goals. And I don't know where Angie's at. So we'll spend about an hour. We may end up doing this twice a week or something here soon, to allow you guys, if y'all have time for like an hour twice a week, because Enrique's wanting to do this on Tuesday nights, and so he would get some of that one-on-one. And I didn't realize that some of the teachers are just doing an hour, where we're still doing that long 2.5 hours, which I can tell all of y'all are falling asleep. You know, we got to be realistic. We have about a 30 minutes worth of attention span, and we get tired too. We've all worked all day.
Yeah, that's right.
So if we could break it up some, we may do that. I didn't realize I had flexibility this year to do that. Uh,
Oh.
so I could say, hey, if it works for you guys, because not all of my people are coming. So either way, we're going to start right into the lesson here tonight, and it says, um, dreams and goals. What do you dream about for your future, and what do you plan for yourself or for your family? So that's a good question to ask.
Hmm.
When you were young, I'm sure you dreamed about something you wanted to do when you got a little older. Now that you're a little older, Edith, have you accomplished your dreams, or did some of them get put to the by the way and forgotten?
Yeah. Some of them just they don't give. You're not real.
So they're unrealistic. Okay.
Yes.
So what did you have some big dream that you wanted to accomplish in your life that you feel like you might still be able to accomplish?
Maybe one day. We never know.
Okay. Um, all right. So, and then plans for the future. I think right now you've got a family now. So at this point, I think you probably dedicate most of what you do to the betterment of your children, to their self-preservation and making sure that they have a better life than maybe what you might have had when you were younger. I think that's
Yeah.
just sort of the natural flow of things there. So it says unit goals. It says to talk about going back to school. We're going to talk about future plans, looking for a job or looking for a better job. Let me rephrase that. Setting goals. Another word would be, if we weren't setting goals, we would have aspirations, we would have dreams. And then talk about community services. So tonight we're not going to talk about all of those. We'll go through a few lessons and then we will move on.
Okay.
So it says here, what do you know? Let's talk about lesson one, class. Look at the pictures that describe goals related to work, school, and the community. What goals do the pictures show? So when we look at these pictures here, picture one shows somebody getting what?
A degree.
A degree. And a degree could be all sorts of things. It could be a certificate, it could be an associate's, a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate. Uh, and you think about all of those different degrees. If you get a doctorate degree is different depending on what major you're majoring in. You know, if you go to be an attorney, it's a juris doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go to be somebody that's going to see to people and their health, you're a medical doctor or a psychiatric doctor, or you have somebody that deals with dentistry. Whatever it may be, the doctorates change. You may have an EDS where you're a doctorate of education, which just means you know a whole lot about educating people. Anytime you think about a doctorate, it's supposed to mean you are an authority on that subject matter. So if we look at picture number 3 here, this shows somebody that's doing what?
Um, I think she's taking classes.
Taking classes. Very good. So that it says in college, but you could be taking classes. You could be taking classes online.
Mm-hmm.
Future 3. Hold on. Copyright. So you could be taking classes online, or I'm working with a student right now to help him get his high school education completed. So I think that when it says in college, that could look differently depending on the circumstances and the individual. Make sure there's no other people trying to get in the class. Okay. So our next picture has a picture of number 5 is what?
I don't know. I think he's doing I can barely see. I don't know if he's doing an exam or I
In
don't
your
know.
book. So it looks like, so it says for the semester. So he may be registering. It looks like when I look at that picture, it says classes. If you look on there, and it's not as so much on the screen, you can't tell it, but in your book, when I look at that real closely, at the top of the piece of paper there, it says classes. So for the semester, he could be registering or enrolling for a semester of college, high school, whatever it may be. You know, in college, 3, we talked about that. So 7 has pictures of people doing what?
Volunteer.
So they're volunteering at a community center. So it looks like they're filling boxes up or preparing for a food bank or something like that. So they're lending their lending of themselves. 8, when we see 8, that's a big one.
Yeah,
And
I think
it
they
below,
take it.
they're
They
doing what?
they take citizenship classes.
Citizenship classes. So that they're very much in tune to what the teacher is saying there. So if we go on down, then number 2 shows somebody getting a what?
Certificate.
So a certificate. So I've got a few of those. This girl in picture number 4 is doing what? She's
I think she's applying for financial ID.
applying for financial aid.
Aid? Okay.
Aid, yes, ma'am. Not to be confused with AIDE. So AIDE is like if you're aiding somebody who is hurt.
Okay.
So we look at number 6 there. This guy looks like he's getting a promotion.
Yes.
Congratulations on your promotion to assistant building manager. So that's a pretty big, that's a pretty big deal.
Yes.
So let's look at, this is complete the description of the pictures, use the words in the box. So we have talked about those, we've used those in our sentences there. So we talked about 1, get a degree. 2, or 3 was enroll in college. The guy down there, we struggled to read what was written on his paper. He is registering for the semester. We have volunteer at a community center. 8, we talked about citizenship classes or take those classes. 2, with the guy and the police officer, he get a certificate. 4, apply for financial aid. And 6, get a promotion. So, all right. So when we do that, it wanted us to look at the pictures and describe goals related to work, school, and community. What goals do the pictures show? And so I don't know that we spent too much time there on that. Do you see this thing moving around?
Which one?
No, okay. I just wanted to make sure. Now I got to figure out where my screen went. Where did your screen go? There it is. Okay. Either way, so when we think about goals, look at the pictures. This guy right here, he's getting this degree. That degree may have been a goal. I can think back to when I was young and getting ready to graduate or complete high school. I had a goal of going to college. And so he's accomplished that goal of going to college. This picture 3 with the girl looking at college and all the different courses, because that's what's on there, what available courses. Enrolling in colleges or registering for classes, that requires a lot of work, but it's a goal because you got to know, what do I want to do in college? And once you determine what you want to do or study, then you know what classes you're going to have to take to make that work.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same way with for the semester, he had classes. You have to select the right classes that fit into your schedule. So that again is a goal, but they have to fit into your home schedule, church schedule, and your work schedule, most importantly, when we go to college, because most of us can't just go to college and not have to work unless you have really wealthy parents or you made super high scores on your ACT, or your parents said, you know what, Edith, you can stay at home and go to college and we'll spend the $40,000 a year to put you through college. Now you may do that for your daughter and she would just love you. And you say, you know what, babe, I'm gonna let you go to school. You and your dad and I, we're gonna work 3 jobs so you can do that. In reality, that probably won't happen. I know if I had children, I'd be like, if I do all of it for you, you won't even appreciate getting that education.
Yeah, that's right.
Dad, I want save those shoulda, coulda, wouldas for somebody else, not me. I'm not killing myself so that you can lay back and get it all. So either way, so we think about that community, volunteering for a community work there, like it shows in the picture at a community center. Mm-hmm. There are a wealth or a plethora or a myriad of reasons why we might do volunteer work. Why might you do volunteer work, Edith?
Why? Because I like to help others, and I think if God is good with me, I can be good with other people.
So if God is not good to you, then you don't need to help others?
No. He's good with me. He tried me good, so I have to go do the same for other people, you know.
So are there blessings when you do for others, do you think, Edith, personally?
I can hear you.
I said, do you feel like you receive a personal blessing when you help other people?
Yeah, maybe not in the same way, but you know, I think God always bless you with something different, you know.
I would say that we do. There are some blessings there, you know. There's satisfaction knowing that I did the right thing. When you see somebody else, you know, be successful and you're like, I helped him do that, you know, just by my letting them know that you're not alone in this world. You know, I just think that there are lots of blessings, but they may not be monetary. We may never receive them in the form of money. We receive them in blessings that look different.
That's what I always say, because when you do something good for somebody, you feel good, and then maybe something else really good come to you. Maybe no money, but maybe when you need somebody, God send you somebody to be there for you, you know? Or maybe not, but You always feel better.
That's correct. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go in here and I'm going to do this listen. If I can find where my CD player went away.
Okay.
It's not there. There it is. Let me click this thing out of the way. So it says here to listen and repeat. So we're going to build vocabulary. It's going to say make 2 cards, write the verbs get or take on the front of each card. On the back, write 3 phrases that use the verb. Use a dictionary for help. So we're going to listen and repeat, and let's see what it tells us to do from there.
Unit 2, Dreams and Goals. Page 26. What do you know? Exercise C. 1,
Get a degree.
2,
Get a certificate.
3,
Enroll in college.
4,
Apply for financial aid.
5,
Register for the semester.
6,
Get a promotion.
7,
Volunteer at a community center.
8,
Take citizenship classes.
page 28.
Okay, so there it says listen and repeat. I don't know that we actually repeated, so we could repeat that. So get a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So can you repeat that? I'm going to say it and I'm going to get you to repeat it.
Okay. Get a degree.
Enroll in college.
Enroll in college.
Register for the semester.
Register for the semester.
Take citizenship classes.
Take citizenship classes.
Citizen. So citizen. Citizen.
Citizen.
Citizen. Citizen class. Citizenship. Citizenship.
Citizenship. Citizenship.
Very good. Volunteer at a community center.
Volunteer at the community center.
Very good. Very, very good. Get a certificate.
Get a certificate.
Apply for financial aid.
Apply for financial aid.
And get a promotion.
Get a promotion.
Okay, so as we go to this next page here, it says wordplay. Look back at the pictures. What kind of goals do they show? Now it says to write them in correct category. Write a check in the column if they are also your goals. So here we need a, let me hit stop share for a second. And we need to do share. We need a whiteboard for a little bit. So here it says some school goals. So we have school goals. We would have work goals. Well, let's see if we can make this wider. So work goals, and then it says community goals. So if we think about school goals, as we look at, and I don't know what's on your picture here, so we know the first one says in the example, so if we look at the first one, number 1, the guy in the cap and gown, well, we know he's doing what? He's going to get
A degree.
a degree. So we know that that falls under a school goal. So let's think about another school goal. If we look at these others in here, which of these others might be related to school?
Um,
Picture, what other picture might be related to school?
maybe picture number 3 or 5 or both.
Let's go and say, so 5, and you say 3. So enroll in college is a good one. In college, whoops. And then you said 5, which is register for the semester. I believe that's a good one too. Register for the semester. So those are all certainly goals. What about number 2? So this guy's got a certificate,
Yeah,
correct?
the certificate, yeah.
So I think get a certificate.
And maybe number 4 too.
4, very good. Very good, because can't go to college if you don't apply for financial aid. So there we go. So those are some of the school goals. So if we think about work goals, when we look at those 8 pictures, which of these might have something to do with work? I only think there's one, as I
Yeah.
think about it. So what would you say would be something that's related to work?
The number 6, get a promotion.
So get a promotion. Okay, because that deals with work. I don't think any of the others technically deal with work
No.
by technicality. That's just Joshua speaking, but none of the others just make me feel like, ooh, that deals with work. Okay, so let's go over here to our last one, which we need to find some community goals. And so what community goals might we have in here as we look at these pictures tonight?
Yeah, the number 7, the volunteer at the community center.
So volunteer, volunteer, at a community center. Oh, no, that's really out of place, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
And the citizenship classes.
That was a tongue full, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Citizenship, take a citizen. Whoops. Well, I said take a citizenship class, but we probably should say take citizenship classes. So there we go. We've created a little chart, although mine doesn't look quite as nice as the book's little diagram. And so we have placed everybody in the right category, whether it's a work goal, a school goal, or a community goal. So we've talked about student goals. Let me just make sure. I don't see another section I'm supposed to listen to. So while we're still here, we're going to do another text box.
Okay.
I want to do another one if you don't let me. Did you hear that ding?
Yeah.
So here we want to talk about word expansion. So when we think about the get a where we did the listen and repeat, get a degree, get a job.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try to talk about get is a verb that is used in many different ways. And so I just want to write get up here. So get is a verb, and we use this verb to say a whole lot. We might say get a degree, get a ticket, get a life, get groceries. Is that right? I don't know if that's right. Groceries. Get sick. Get. Are you there, Edith? Get a promotion. Well, Edith. Edith. I can. You went away. You went into a virtual space.
Yeah, my cell phone turned it off, so I lost the connection.
Well, I was in here just yapping away, and then all of a sudden you were gone. I looked up and I said, I'm not there no more. I said, this is embarrassing. I've been talking to myself. So either way, so I was
Sorry.
talking, it's okay. It's okay. So we were talking about get being a verb. And so I've written, I think you can still see my screen, correct? So get, and so we can talk about get. So, you know, what's something you might say? Get what? Get,
Get a, maybe a vacation.
get a vacation. So here we could then go in and say, how would we expand this? So you can add all sorts of things to this. So it says that we should be using students or pairs, but we're going to just do it together here. So if we were to say get a degree, I could say she is getting a degree in math. So that's how we would see that. We're using get, although it's used a little differently there. He will get a $1 million bonus if he finishes the project. So that's a pretty big to do, $1 million bonus. Edith will get finished with class at 8. Hold on. 8 p.m. tonight. Possibly earlier. See, did you see that smile there?
I can't see no more.
What?
No, I can only see she's getting a degree in math. Oh yeah, I see now.
She didn't tell me what she was doing. She said, Josh, what are you doing? So there's just those are just ways we might say or use the word get. You could say Edith got her black belt degree last week. So in that we see that you got get, got, gotten, getting, gets, got. All of those are just different forms of the verb get. Do this, do that. So either way, so I just wanted you to see that. So just remember new vocabulary when you write new phrases with these different words. Okay, so as we see words that we've not used before, add them to your vocabulary so that you have them. I don't know if there are any words in here that you might have not seen. We can always try to expand that if it would quickly. So we've already done the chart over here on the other page, on page 27. We've compared our answers because you and I did that together. Trying to make sure. Read the paragraph. Tell students they're going to read the paragraph. So we've got this paragraph that's coming up here. I'm going to have you read the first time to understand the story right on the board. And so on the board, I'm supposed to be writing this. So let's erase this. How do I erase? Whoops. Whoops. There we
That's
go. All right, so we're going to erase. We're going to put this new box in here. And I need to write a few sentences or write something up here for you to think about. Over here it says, I want you to think about where is Damir from? That's a question.
okay.
It would help if I didn't add an extra E there. What kind of degree does Damir want to earn? So there's one. After, for instance, after he earns his degree, what are two more things that Damir has to do? So those are the questions that I want you to think about as we read this this paragraph. So I will read it and then you listen and see if you can answer these questions.
Okay.
So it says, my dream is to be an electrician. When I lived in Bosnia, I couldn't go to college because of the war. Now I'm planning to go back to school and get an associate's degree. That takes 2 years to complete. First, I need to enroll in a college or a trade school. Then I'll look at the class schedule and register for the semester. I'm going to sign up for weekend classes and apply for financial aid. I hope that the state will give me some money for tuition. To become an electrician, I will have to work about 4,000 hours under a licensed electrician and pass a test. After that, I can get a certificate and work for myself. So here it says, we've read the paragraph about this kid named Damien. Underline the new vocabulary. So were there any words in there that were new to you?
No, I think maybe a associate degree. I don't know what is that.
An associate's degree. So an associate's degree is a degree that, so an associate's degree deals with, I usually say, the fundamental or the core classes that are needed to complete almost all other degrees. When we're thinking about an associate's degree, you may do an associate's degree with what we call general transfer, which means I can go in and it's going to be all of my basic math, all of my English, science, social studies, the core classes that are necessary before I start my bachelor's degree.
Oh, okay.
So a bachelor's degree generally takes 4 years to complete. What I tell folks though, when it says 4 years, be mindful that the first 2 years, if you already have your associates, then it's only an additional 2 years. Because you're not going to start all over at the beginning. Now you could go to a college like Trevecca University or Austin Peay State University and enroll in a 4-year program. But the first 2 years, when you finish, you will have finished all of your core classes or what we call core electives. And as such, you will have your associate's degree. They matriculate is what they call it, matriculate, which just means that they work into a larger degree.
Okay.
For instance, when I went and completed my transportation management degree, I sent my transcript from Columbia State, Trevecca University, Martin Methodist University. I took all of those transcripts, sent them to the college that I was wanting to enroll in to complete this program that I wanted to complete. And they allowed almost all of my classes from other schools to serve as completed. So I did not have to take any of the math. I didn't have to take English. I didn't have to take a whole lot of classes because they went in and said, you've already completed that work at other universities. Now all you need to focus on are the things that deal with transportation management. So I focused just on the, what I call the meat of the degree. And I was really excited because it saved me an extra year of college. So it knocked off almost a year and a half of college by allowing them to go through and review your transcripts. So that's why it's so important to send it. Some people are reluctant to do it. Some people won't even list their other college. But if you already have a degree, send it, because that stuff generally will transfer over. And now you may not have to take as many classes. Now I've graduated from this college, and everybody would say, how many courses or credits did it take for you to get that degree? It was 30 course credits.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I only had to take 3. So nine credits, that's all I had to take to finish the degree. All the rest of them transferred in. So it made my life a little easier.
Yeah.
So that's what an associate's degree is. And then the farther up you go, or the further up you go, because the measurement of degree further, so your master's and then doctorate, it becomes very, very specialized. That's the way I generally think of master's degrees. And a doctorate is 100%. You're studying one thing very intimately. So if I wanted a doctor, say I went to college and I applied for my doctorate, I might do it in school transportation management. Well, that means when I get through, I will have written a book, generally at least between 100 and 500 pages long, that talks nothing more than about school buses. Every aspect of it. You know, I think about a friend of mine who got his doctorate degree in dairy science. So he wrote this monstrosity of a book, or this very thick book, all about milk cows.
Oh my goodness.
Cows that you can milk. You sit down and read that thing, you'll be asleep in 5 minutes. So either way, the further up the food chain you go with degrees, the more specialized you get. And at that point, people will start coming to you and say, you know what, Edith has her doctoral degree in family science. She knows how to run a family. You need to know anything, you call her. She gets paid $3,000 an hour to get her advice. And she'd be like, dang, I'm in the wrong business. So either way, like psychiatrists and things like that. And I can't see me up here on the screen anymore, so I don't know if I'm still there.
Yes, you're still there.
I didn't know if it went away. Okay, so let's go, and here I want you to think about these questions I asked. Where is Damir from? You recollect.
He say Bosnia.
He is from Bosnia. What kind of degree does Damir want?
The associate's degree or the electrician?
So he wants to get an associate's degree. So a degree is different than a certificate. So you get a certificate, and the sad part about some certificates, like my transportation management certificate, is 30 hours. 3 more hours, I would have completed enough to do a master's degree. Because a master's degree is 33 hours. So some of your certificates are pretty close to degrees. Some businesses will accept it as a degree because it is very specialized. And after he earns his degree, what are 2 more things that Damir has to do?
I think he say, I'm not sure about that. I think he's getting the certificate and work for himself.
So that's his ultimate goal. That's
Okay.
his end objective. That's where he wants to be. So what does he have to do to get to that?
Okay, okay. Yeah, he need to enroll in college.
So that's what he's got to do to get in that college to get his associates. And so he enrolls in college. He has to register for whatever semester that he wants to participate in. He also has to apply for financial aid. So he's done all of those things. Those are all related to college. After that, though, it says, I hope that the state will give me some money for tuition. And this next sentence is important. To become an electrician, I will have to work what?
About 4,000 hours.
4,000 hours under a licensed electrician and pass the
After
test.
this. Okay.
So I think that there are two more things that he has to do. So we could say Damir has to work
4,000.
hours and pass a test for vacation. That's a lot. 4,000 hours. That's a lot of hours.
Yes.
I mean, you think about a standard work week. I hadn't even done the math on that. 40 divided by 40. That's 100 weeks.
Oh.
40 hours a week. That's 100 weeks. That's a lot. There are 52 weeks in a year, so it will take him 2 years. So another way of saying that is he has to be an apprentice. He's going to work with an electrician. He's going to make less money, but he's going to be doing the same job, the same work, but he's got to do that for almost 2 years. And then take this test. And once he does all that, he now can go start this business and he can start raking in the money. At that point, if he's a married fella, his wife will really like him. What do you think? Was that pretty fair to say?
Yes.
So I think that if we read their underline new vocabulary, certainly we would underline get an associate's degree, because that's part of one of the pictures that we've already looked at. I think where it says I need to, and then it says enroll in a college, that would also be one of those 8 pictures that we studied tonight, so we could underline that. Then I'll look at the class schedule and register. So register for the semester. That's something that we've already referenced earlier in the chapter. Apply for financial aid. That would be another. We see that over here on 27 in picture 4, apply for financial aid. And of course, the very last thing is get a certificate, which is also found on page 27 in picture 2. So those would be new vocabulary words to us or phrases, but they all have get, or enroll, or register, or apply as part of their communication. So read the paragraph. So I'm going to let you read this paragraph just so that you have some practice pronouncing these words, and then we will move on to the next to do.
Okay. My dream is to be an electrician. When I lived in Bosnia, I couldn't go to college because of the war. Now I'm planning to go back to school and get an associate degree that takes 2 years to complete. First, I need to enroll in college or trade school. Then I will look at the class schedule and register for the semester. I'm going to sign up for weekend classes and apply for financial aid. I hope they will give me some money tuition to become an electrician. I will have 4,000 hours under a licensed electrician and pass a test. After that, I can get a certificate and work for myself.
Work for myself. Very good. So I want us to think about for a second. You noticed I've written some words in our little whiteboard here. And it says here, I'm planning to, I need to, I'm going to, I hope that, I will have to, or I can. So I've said these phrases to you. I want you to understand that these are common expressions that we use in English to talk about our hopes, our dreams, and our goals. These are all things that if we wanted to talk about a goal, dream, or hope, we would start a sentence like this. So I'm planning to what? So if you had to finish each one of these, how would you say, what could you tell me I'm planning to what? What or something like that.
I'm planning to get a promotion on my workplace.
Very good. Okay. So in order to get this promotion, you would say I need to what?
I need to learn some computer skills.
I need to learn computer skills, or I need to be more computer savvy.
Yeah.
New word for you, computer savvy. I need to be more computer literate. So that's a different way to say that, okay? So in order to become computer savvy or literate, I'm going to what? What is Edith going to do to get this promotion? And she needs to acquire some computer skills. How are you going to do that? I'm going to what?
Then I'm going to enroll in some classes. Computer classes.
Enroll in some classes. Can we be more specific?
Computer classes.
I'm going to enroll in some computer classes or computer information system classes.
Yeah.
Or IT classes. Okay. So once you've enrolled in these classes, I hope that what happens? Once you've enrolled in the class, what do you hope will become of that, Edith? 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 Edith. Edith? Oh, no.
Sorry again.
I know it sounds like you're having trouble tonight.
Yes, yes. It's because I use my hotspot because we can have internet here.
Mm-hmm.
There is no signal, so my phone keep turn it off.
Oh, I figured maybe somebody was calling or something in that.
No, I don't know what is wrong. My charger, I thought I was charging and then it wasn't, I think it wasn't charged. So I don't know.
All right. So let's
Tonight
go
is
back,
not my night.
so let's go back here real quick. So we've talked about, so you told me what you want. I'm going to do, so I need to enroll in classes. I'm going to, whatever. And so once you enroll in these IT classes, what do you hope will happen? So I hope that what happens, or what's your goal or objective in this process so that you can get this promotion that you're wanting?
I hope that I can learn because my memory is not really good now.
Okay. So it's good that you recognize that up front, that you may have to work a little harder. So
Yes.
I will have to, so that leads right into our next one. I will have to
Practice.
practice more frequently. I would
Yes.
say I will have to practice more frequently. I will have to work harder. I will have to be diligent in my studies to ensure that I'm successful. And then once you do all of that, I can what? I can
Get the promotion.
get the promotion and get a pay raise of $65,000 a year.
Ah, please.
Okay, so that worked really well. You went through that relatively easy. You made that seem like you've done this every day of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you see me again, I assume. Do you see my other picture? You don't
No.
see the picture here, so let's bring the picture up. You see our textbook now?
Yes.
Okay. So here it says that we can work on, talk about going back to school. G-hi-yi-yi. So talk about going back to school. So before we listen, match the pictures with the jobs and the training they require. Write the correct letters. So we look at A, and we think about the first one. It says, 1, auto body repairer, automotive service excellence certificate. So which one of those pictures on page 28, which one of those pictures, A, B, or C, do you think would correspond with 1?
B.
Very good. 2, what does it say?
Dental assistant, state license. And
Okay.
I think it's A.
A. And 3,
Yes. Registered nurse, associate's degree. I think it's C.
very good. Perfecto, perfecto. All right. So here in the group section, it says to discuss, do you plan to go back to school, Edith?
I wish, but I don't know when.
So I wish that you do not know when. Okay. Would you like to get a certificate, license, or degree?
Yes. I think degree maybe.
Degree. So of those 3, do you understand their differences?
On the certificate and degree, yes, but the license, I'm not sure about that.
So you may get so some states would issue a certificate to become say a cosmetologist where you work on people's hair. Other states would have a different process and you would actually get a license.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So
Okay.
like I I administer CDL tests for people to get their commercial driver's license. That is a certificate program. So I went through a class for multiple weeks, studied, took lots of tests, and so I have a certificate that states I can administer. I'm a third-party CDL examiner for the Department of Safety and Homeland Security. That's a certificate. You get a license, however. So your license, the easiest way to talk about licenses is to operate a vehicle. You have to have a license. That's one form of a license. There are other type of licenses. You may have to get a beer license. You may have to get let's see here. So anesthesiologist, that's always going to be a degree. I'm trying to think of some other licenses out there that are pretty common to most of us. Because I mean, you can have a license to cut hair. Barbers, old time barbers, they actually have licenses to do that. So your licenses could be, they're not quite a degree, but they are very specialized. It will be in something that's very specific. You may need a license to sit with the elderly on the weekends or at night. So instead of being a full-blown registered nurse, which requires a degree, you might get a license that would allow you to do most of the things that registered nurses do with that license, but you certainly won't get the pay. But you still have some skill sets. Like I had a license at one point to administer medication. And I had to sit through a class for 2 weeks to learn how to read medical prescriptions. Let me just tell you, reading medical prescriptions is not easy. But we had to do that because I worked with people on the weekends that they took a lot of medication. So that was actually a license that we got that was good for 2 years. So it's just a little different, but it was, again, specialized. Certificates are generally very specialized.
Okay.
All right, so if you went back to school, Edith, what would you study?
Well, I would like to be a nurse. So,
Okay, you want to be a nurse. Why do you want to be a nurse?
I don't know. Before, when I was little, I want to be a lawyer because,
Ooh,
yeah, but you know I can do that. So,
well,
I hate the blood and everything. And I say, no, I will never be a doctor or something like that because I hate him. But then, you know, in my life, it's been some kind of accidents, family accidents. And sometimes I have to take care, you know, of the wounds, you know, when they get out from the hospital and everything. And I start, you know, I start like it, you know. Yeah. And
so you like helping people. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good reason to be a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be patient with people. We need
Yeah.
patient nurses because the world doesn't have enough of them. Nurses tend to be a little overwhelming at times. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi, mademoiselle. So here it says, we're going to do some listening. Carmen is talking to Gustavo. Listen to the conversation. What are Carmen's plans? And then it says she is going to do something. And the idea is you're going to be able to tell me what that something is after we listen to this 45-minute conversation. And let me find my CD player here and play.
Listen. Exercises A, B, and C. So, Carmen, what's going on with you?
You'll never guess. I'm going back to school.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm going to take night classes this fall.
Yeah? Where?
At Los Angeles City College.
That's great. What do you study?
Well, I want to be a nurse. I'd like to get an associate's degree.
What classes do you have to take for that?
Well, first I have to take basic classes like biology. Then I can apply to the clinical program.
How long will that take?
I'm going to go part-time. If I work really hard, I might get the degree in 3 years.
Well, good luck. Here's an orange.
An orange? Why an orange?
Don't you know? Student nurses have to practice giving shots, and they always start on an orange.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. So, what are Carmen's plans? And then she is going to what? So as we listen to that, what is she going to do?
She's going to return to school.
When?
I think in the fall.
So return to school this fall. Very good. Very good. So it says to listen again, and now it wants you to circle the correct answers. So let me go back. Oops, I just went back a whole chapter. There we go.
Page 28. Listen. Exercises A, B, and C.
So, Carmen, what's going on with you?
You'll never guess. I'm going back to school.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm going to take night classes this fall
Yeah? Where?
at Los Angeles City College.
That's great. What do you study?
Well, I want to be a nurse. I'd like to get an associate's degree.
What classes do you have to take for that?
Well, first I have to take basic classes like biology. Then I can apply to the clinical program.
How long will that take?
I'm going to go part-time. If I work really hard, I might get the degree in 3 years.
Well, good luck. Here's an orange.
An orange? Why an orange?
Don't you know? Student nurses have to practice giving shots, and they always start on an orange.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
All right, so let's go back to listen, and it says circle the correct answers. So one, when will Carmen take courses?
At night.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. What will she study?
Nursing.
And what will she do after her basic classes?
Apply to a clinical program.
Are you there? Are you still there?
Yes.
Okay. For some reason, my closed the program. Hopefully, it won't. My media program decided it's not going to work. Okay. So read the questions and let's discuss. How long will it take Carmen to get her degree if she works hard? That's a tough question. Do we recollect? Do we remember, ladies and gentlemen?
I can hear that part. I tried to hear it, but I can't hear it.
Oh,
I just hear that she's gonna take part-time or something like that, but I can't hear this time.
I hear what you're trying to say. So let's listen one more time.
Okay.
Answer these questions. If they wouldn't be running that salsa in the background.
Page 28. Listen. Exercises A, B, and C.
So, Carmen, what's going on with you?
You'll never guess. I'm going back to school.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm going to take night classes this fall
Yeah? Where?
at Los Angeles City College.
That's great. What do you study?
Well, I want to be a nurse. I'd like to get an associate's degree.
What classes do you have to take for that?
Well, first I have to take basic classes like biology. Then I can apply to the clinical program.
How long will that take?
I'm going to go part-time. If I work really hard, I might get the degree in 3 years.
Well, good luck. Here's an orange.
An orange? Why an orange?
Don't you know? Student nurses have to practice giving shots, and they always start on an orange.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, so we're starting on I didn't know they used oranges instead of people's arms, but okay. So how long will it take Carmen to get her degree if she works hard?
2 years.
How many?
2. That's what I hear.
Okay, ¿por qué?
I don't remember, but she said 2 years.
Oh, she said 3.
Huh?
She gets her degree. I thought it was 3 years.
Oh, I hear 2. I can't.
I think she said 3, but either way. So what does Gustavo give Carmen and why?
Orange. I think he say for practicing the shots or something like that.
To practice giving shots. Very good. Very good. Okay. So let's go to page 29. So conversation. It says, listen to the pronunciation of will in each sentence, and then listen and repeat. Now I got to open this back up because I closed it. Uh-oh. Who's name? Come on. Go to the library. Da-da-da-da. I do hate technology.
Future 3. Copyright. Page 29. Conversation. Exercise A. Listen.
I'll start in the fall.
We'll help.
He'll work part-time.
You'll study tonight.
When will you finish?
What will you study?
Listen and repeat.
I'll start in the fall.
I'll start in the fall.
We'll help.
We'll help.
He'll work part-time.
He'll work part-time.
You'll study tonight.
You'll study tonight.
You.
When will you finish?
When will you finish?
What will you study?
What will you study? Okay, so we're going to keep listening.
Page 29. Conversation.
Listen to the
Exercise
sentences.
B. 1,
I work at night.
2,
I'll take classes during the day.
3,
We both go to City College.
4,
You'll need a license.
So as you
page
listen to
29.
those, circle the words that you hear, Edith, okay?
Conversation.
In
Exercise
section
A.
B.
Listen. Page 29. Conversation. Exercise B. 1,
I work at night.
2,
I'll take classes during the day.
3,
We both go to City College.
4,
You'll need a license.
page 29.
Okay, so the next one says, listen and read the conversation, okay?
Conversation. Exercise C.
I'm going to take night classes this fall
Yeah? Where?
at Los Angeles City College.
That's great. What do you study?
Well, I want to be a nurse. I'd like to get an associate's degree.
Okay, so I'm going to take night classes this fall. Yeah, where? At Los Angeles City College. That's great. what will you study? And well, I want to be a nurse. I'd like to get an associate's degree. So in section B, what words did you circle when we were listening? In one, they said, I work at night. Which one of those did you circle?
I circle the first one.
Okay, and since 2, which one did you circle?
I circle the second one.
So I'll. So we say that I'll. I'll take classes during the day. So number 3, which one did you circle?
The first one, we.
We both go to City College. Very good.
No. Yes, is it?
We.
Okay.
We both go. So if you were going to say will, W-E, we will go, you would get rid of both. So instead we just say, we both go to City College. If we were to say will, we will just say we'll go to City College.
Okay.
You don't need the both, because will then says that we're both, it indicates more than one.
Yes.
And then number 4,
I circle the second one.
you'll, which just means you will. So you'll need a license. Okay? So you'll need to do these things. You will need a license. Not you need a license. You will.
Okay.
Okay? So as we listen to those conversations earlier, we want to now read the conversation together.
Okay.
We're getting close to the end. I know. I see you've used some toothpicks to prop your eyelids open. So either way, I'll be Gustavo, you be Carmen.
Okay. I'm going to take night classes this fall.
Yeah, where?
At Los Angeles City College.
That's great. What will you study, Edith?
Well, I want to be a nurse. I like to get an associate's degree.
Do you know how long that will take?
3 years?
3 years is a long time to be in school. Is it worth it?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to be a nurse.
I want to be a millionaire.
Well, me too.
Oh, goodness. All right. So let's think about practice down here. Pairs, practice the conversation. So we practiced, and I've added a little extra to it without you even getting thrown off kilter. So role play, make a similar conversation. Says student A, talk about going back to school. Student B, ask about the certificate or license, then change roles, use the information or your ideas. So I'm going to talk about going back to school, and then you can ask me if it's going to be a certificate or something like that.
Okay.
So I decided this past summer that I wanted to go back to college because I want to be able to make more money.
Okay, what are you going to be studying?
So what am I going to study? Okay, I am going to be studying organizational leadership at New Covenant University, which happens to be a Christian university in Florida. So I might get to make a trip there one day.
Oh. How long is going to take to get your degree or certificate?
So it will be a degree. It would take me less than 13 months if I would really apply myself. The program is entirely online. The program will require an immense amount of reading and more writing than I care to acknowledge at this time. But I believe having the degree could help me move into some other leadership positions that I would like in the future. Because after all, I'm not getting any younger. I'm old as dirt.
Well, that's great.
I believe it is great. I'm so thankful that you asked lots of questions this evening. So that's that. Okay. So we've had some, I put you on the spot. So pronunciation watch, will is often contracted with nouns such as heal, shield, and WH words, what'll, when, when'll, where'll, how. So what all, I'm going to say what all, what'll, when'll, where'll,
Well,
how. Those words, I can tell you that in all of my living on this earth, have I heard any of that? Again, I think that I've shared with you before, growing up in our household, I can tell you that mother expected us to use proper English. Again, we teach conversational, so you may hear this, especially in the South. Not so much. I did not originate from here. So in the North, you will not hear that. I don't recall ever going up to say, "What will you be doing tomorrow? When will you be here?" I would just say, "When will you be here? What will you be doing tomorrow?" I don't know. Some of this, as you can tell, is hard for me to teach. At times, we have our little hiccups. So we are at 8 o'clock, almost. You feel like you've learned anything tonight?
how do you say? What do you say? Hello.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you feel like you've learned a thing or two tonight?
Yes.
Okay. So next week, we'll plan on lesson 3. And it says talk about future plans. If I decide to change the date, I may do it while I'm up there in the mountains. I don't know yet. I will actually be out of town this coming week. So it may be that Monday night or something, I would say if you want to do something. I just don't know. If something changes, I'll send you a text message and say, hey, we're going to push off a week because we're on fall break. School's out. And I actually think classes are out this week. I don't even think we have a class this Thursday, do we?
I don't think so.
I think because the schools are out, we're out.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah.
Generally, when the public schools are out, we are out. Let's look here. What questions does it have? Ask. Hold on here. It says ask Edith. Edith will know what days to do. Okay. So fall break. So no class on Thursday. What in Sam heavens are we going to do? I'm going to the mountains. Do you have any plans for the break?
No, because my husband is gonna take vacations to stay with the girl, so I have to work every day.
Well, I feel bad for you. I'm taking a few days off. I'm out of this joint.
Oh.
I'm turning my phone off, turning my computer off, sending emails to whoever wants to read them. And I'm in a capital BREAK because I need it. Because if I take one more phone call from an angry parent, I don't know if I can make it. Either way, I hope that you have a good break. Don't work too much. I hope you find a little bit of time to be able to spend with your family, okay?
Thank you.
So you have
I hope you enjoy your vacations.
I'm gonna try, and we may, like I said, I may start doing these at alternate times during the week where if it's just an hour, we can meet. If there's a different day you want to meet, say, hey, Josh, can we meet Sunday afternoon at, 4 or something like that. I'll be up here all day. I'll probably be at the office most of the day, Sunday and Monday. So if you had some time you wanted to do that. If I'm not overly exhausted, we might do that.
Okay.
That way we can continue moving on through the chapter, even though the rest of the group, they're taking breaks.
Okay.
All right. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Thank you.
See you, Edith. Have a
Bye.
good evening. Bye.
Mm.